I am live. It's Sunday. I am back on a regular work schedule for the first time since like March or something like that. But this is day 27, Veda. I have here in my kitchen my city issued recycling thing because last night I went on a bit of a tear. Hey, Brianna, with that thing, the paper shredder. And you would not believe how much this thing got filled up. That's how much paper I shredded last night, and this thing was empty. And now it's like 3/4 of the way full. There is some loose paper in there, but yeah, this is all just like mail and stuff that I needed to shred that I just put in boxes because I was too lazy to deal with it or go somewhere and have it done. So this is like bank statements, bills, old check things, whatnot. But I will head back over here to the computer. So the question of the day is, if you had an extra $100 every week to spend on yourself, what would you use it for? And you gotta ponder that for a second, but I was just kind of going through the list on the computer here and checking out all of these channels of people who had signed up for it. And as I was looking at these, I'll just pull up a channel at random here. You can see a lot of people aren't exactly they're not exactly Veda-ing, if you want to call it that. Now I know that this is just like a well, here's someone who's looked like it's I mean, here's one person who looks like he's keeping up, but I'm just curious though, you know, just throw a question out. We'll check out another channel here, but is this a hard thing for you people to do? So it looks like we've got a Veda here who is actually keeping up with the schedule, doing some lives too. But I was just kind of going through the list. I was like, wow. And I know that one of my internet friends, well, you know, April, but she was trying, but, you know, obviously, you know, she's got a lot on her plate, so don't have 5 minutes to vlog, but we're kind of coming up on the end of this now, and it's just a lazy Sunday night for me. So, you know, for me, you know, I didn't have too much of a hassle doing it, but then we had eclipse time, and eclipse was that was a fun couple days doing the eclipse. So you would spend it, I just scrolled up the comments here. Veda does stand for video every day August, and there is actually another hashtag, the SSS hashtag, which stands for Sexy Savvy Social, but I don't consider myself to be Sexy Savvy Social, so I'm just using the Veda hashtag here. Computer parts and ebooks. Hi, Zombie. I could get some computer stuff, honestly. What I would like to get myself is a nice... I'm just going to type in some stuff here. Let's see if I can come up with a... But if I had an extra $100 to spend every week, you know, I would get something like this so that I can make better videos. Because now that I got a little more a little more cash. I still got this thing. Well, it takes great videos. It's video capability. I've noticed it the best, but that's what I get for buying something that was like 50% off at Best Buy because they were clearing them out. And books. For whatever reason, the comment thing on YouTube is being really, really dumb today. And let's think here. What book would you get, Brianna? Do you have like a series or a novel series or something? And Zombie, what would you, what parts would you get? And you also said you wanted to get ebooks too, so you're a new subby. Well, thanks for subbing. If you haven't checked out my channel, it's kind of a mix of things that I've been doing over the years, and you have a few questions, Brianna? Ask them. By all means, go ahead and ask them. I'll just wait here for them to pop up, or I'll have to do this thing with the thumb to make them pop up because for whatever reason they're not showing up in real time on me today here. But boy, my internet is being really, really slow today. Boy, oh boy, my computer is really being slow today. I wanted to show something else here. You like books about the Holocaust? There we go. Yeah, I minored in history when I was in college, so a lot of reading on history of Europe, World War II, all that fun stuff. People can be so cruel, can't they? But, you know, wouldn't mind getting one of these, a Sony 4K. What else do we got down here? I love going through Amazon. And how old are you? I'm 37 years old. I'm going to be 38 in November. So I graduated high school in 1998, and it took me damn near 10 years to get through college. I had to go part-time because the full-time class schedule just wasn't going to do it for me. So yeah. Typo, I see that. How old are Yoy? I don't know Yoy, so I couldn't tell you how old he or she is, so now I completely lost my train of thought. Oh boy, what else was I gonna look up? Oh yeah, I was gonna go to Newegg, since we're kinda in the mood here. If I had an extra $100. See, I build my own computer, so I really don't look at like fully built systems. You start school tomorrow. I can certainly remember going to school. Oh yeah, the final day of summer. I have I kind of have, let's just say that I have neutral memories of final day of summer. I never really did anything fun for final day of summer. For me, the final day of summer was always Labor Day. We started school because I went to school in Wisconsin, and we always started school the day after Labor Day. So that was like a Tuesday, and depending on when Labor Day fell in September, it was always either like the first Tuesday or the second Tuesday. And so, let me think back here. If I can remember. Graphic cards and processor upgrades. I should get a, that's one thing I could do, is I could get myself a processor upgrade. Because when I built this system, I just got like an i3, and so I can easily stick an i7, like an i7 4790 into this computer, and I think that'll kind of really zing it up a bit. But getting back to the whole thing of school here, we actually had like a Labor Day fry out. That was about it. And then the next day, it was the first day of school, and you walk into the, at least in grade school, you walk into the door and go to where the classrooms were, and you had the list posted outside of who your teacher was, and let me think here. And you go in, and the first day was always like, you get your books, and the teacher kind of gave you a little lecture about what the year was going to be like, and all that stuff. And in my case, I had to go see counselors and go meet with them and talk with them about how my summer went, and strategize the year over on how I could improve from the year before, and all that fun jazz. So let's see here. I think, Zombie, for you, if you're still on, I think that this little doodad here is going to be the biggest processor that I can stuff into my computer, but it's $374, so it's not exactly $100 to, it would take like 3 weeks of an extra $100 to spend. Although now that I got my own house, it's actually quite nice, because the amount of money that I'm spending, I'm not spending $1,100 a month on rent, which is so nice. So technically, if the question was like, what would you have for an extra $400 a month, because that's kind of what I got going for my wife, so I'm going to be saving up a lot of money. But I still got stuff that I have to do with the house. Well, the big project for the house. I come over here. What's going to take a good chunk of money is down there, and you see at the very bottom of the floor drain. There's a pipe that runs out to the street. And what's going to happen is I got to have that pipe replaced, because the pipe is collapsed. When they did a home inspection, they ran the camera down in there, and as it goes out into the street, it actually runs right next to that tree. And one of the roots from the tree kind of came through and smashed the pipe, so it still flows, but it's going to have to be replaced at some point, and that's going to be like a $5,000 job to do. So all that $400 a month that I'm saving is, well, that's already spent. So, but that's life as a homeowner. Yep, yikes. Tree roots are, you'd be amazed at how much force a tree root could squash onto something, because they, I'm trying to think here. Back when I was in high school, actually, I was over at a friend's house, and they had a sidewalk out going into their backyard, and a sunflower seed had actually found its way down into the gap between two concrete blocks, and it had grown up. And as the plant actually grew up and the stem grew outward, it actually wedged those two concrete blocks that were in the ground. They actually wedged them apart a couple inches. So yeah, there's a lot of force that those things can exert. You really don't think about it, but yeah, it's like plant jaws of life, I guess you could say. So I'm trying to think here. don't know if anybody else has anything, but I'm probably going to give it like another minute or two, and then we will say goodbye here. My chat messages do not want to... Yeah, these don't want to show up. My phone's being stupid today. I just woke up from a nap, so I'm a little tired. I'm just doing that septic system. We had one of those. Yeah, we had to have that replaced at my parents' house, and actually, I think I got pictures of that. So if I go here and I look for 2004, and actually I'm not seeing them, so I don't think I have them on my computer. But I can trust me. We had to have the septic system replaced at our house, and let me check over. Okay, no, that wouldn't be it. I'm just kind of going through my phone here, or going through my picture albums on the phone here, because I know that somewhere we got pictures, and I gotta go through and I have to sort. Must sort all these pictures. Let's see if I can find it here. We'd have a well replaced too. We got pictures of that. Growing up, we had to have the well replaced because the well was not up to code, and when we had to do the septic system, we had to have the well replaced too, because that was just the way the rules were. But they had to come in and they had to dig up our front yard, and then they had to run a thing down into the house, and that's the old tank and hole where they were putting it in, and the pipes coming in, and that's the pump that they stuck down into the ground. And then there's the guy sticking the pipe down into the new well, and then there's the new well thing. Yeah, that was 2004, and we had flooding that year, and it was quite a mess in the basement because it backed up in our basement. Because what happened was with our well, or our septic system, was that it actually went through a tank, and then it went into another tank, and then it went out into a drain field, and that drain field failed, and so the second tank backed up, and then it caused the septic tank to back up, and then it backed up into our basement, and it flooded our basement to about 2 feet deep one night, which made for a very, very smelly mess. And you just said they almost had their whole backyard tore up. Yeah, it's not a little thing to replace. Nope. But in our case, yeah, the basement flooded, and it came up through the floor drain that was in our basement. And so what we wound up doing was, because it was just that one drain, we took a basketball, or actually not a basketball, it was like a rubber ball that we got at Walmart, and we inflated it up, stuffed it in the hole and inflated it up with the air compressor, and stuck a bunch of bricks on top of it to keep the pressure from popping the ball out of the hole, and that sealed off the hole so that water wouldn't get into our basement. And it was like that for 3 months, and we had a little pump that we stuck in the second tank to drain it out until we can get the darn thing replaced. But the thing that really, really sucked for me, though, was that I had my game show collection off of Game Show Network on tapes that were in boxes in the basement, and all those tapes got flooded and ruined, and this was just someone just popped a comment on one of my YouTube videos. I don't get it. They were literally plugging their ears and sitting. Oh, it's going to be this video. Yeah. I'm being so ADHD today. But they had to, yeah, they ripped up our whole backyard, and they put in what's called a mound system, which is like a big thing. It is what you think it is. It looks like a humongous anthill in the backyard, and For some reason, I am not finding that picture. Because I got the picture of them building the darn thing. I just burped. We also had to cut trees in the basement too, or cut trees in the backyard. Because they were going to build the mound where some of the trees were. That's a big birch tree that we felled. But yeah, you got any last thoughts for me, Zombie? If not, I'm gonna say goodbye. So I've been going for 20 minutes here. America's Funniest Videos is on right now. They're doing the eyes joke. What does EYE say? What does EYES say? Haha. But yeah, I'm gonna say goodnight here. I'm gonna say goodnight here, folks. Thanks for everybody who watched it, and we'll catch ya. We're almost done with beta, so well, hopefully I'll have something nice for you at the very end. But we'll say goodbye. Bye.